Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever. Sometimes we all need a little help.
If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing that I'd like to do is to save every day like a
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Roll Screen Time. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow X-Men Christopher Johnson.
Hello everyone.
And we're talking about one of the greatest X-Men movies.
If not the greatest.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see,
Yeah.
a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Yep. Quite possibly one of the greatest. X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Getting to the overview. X-Men Days of Future Past is a 2014 superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team, the X-Men. The film is the fifth mainline installment of the X-Men film series, a sequel to X-Men The Last Stand and X-Men First Class, a follow-up to The Wolverine, and the seventh installment overall. Mm-hmm. The film was produced by 20th Century Fox, Marvel Entertainment, Bad Hat Harry Productions, The Donner's Company, Genre Films, and TSG Entertainment, and distributed by 20th Century Fox. Mm-hmm. The film was directed by Bryan Singer from a screenplay written by Simon Kinberg based on a story by Jane Goldman, Simon Kinberg, and Matthew Vaughn. The film stars an ensemble cast including Hugh Jackman, James McAvoy, Nicholas Hoult, Michael Fassbender, Jennifer Lawrence, Halle Berry, Anna Paquin, Elliot Page, Peter Dinklage, Shawn Ashmore, Evan Peters, Ian McKellen, and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah. Want to go over the synopsis?
Sure. Convinced that mutants pose a threat to humanity, Dr. Bolivar Trask develops the Sentinels, enormous robotic weapons that can detect a mutant gene and zero in on that person or mutant. In the 21st century, the Sentinels have evolved into highly efficient killing machines. With mutants now facing extinction, Wolverine volunteers to go back in time to 1973 and rally the X-Men of the past to help change a pivotal moment in history and thereby save their future.
Mm-hmm. This was an awesome movie.
Awesome is an understatement.
Yeah.
This was phenomenal.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I was iffy about it until I saw the trailers for it. Then it got me excited.
Well, I think we all were.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is one of the most important and essentially one of the best X-Men stories ever told.
Yep.
And with some stories done well and others done not so well, it was a toss-up.
Yeah.
But fortunately, everything aligned perfectly.
Yep.
Or nearly perfectly.
Of course, we have to talk about the cast along with the guy who's the through line in both timelines.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say he's the linchpin or the MacGuffin?
The linchpin.
Yep, the linchpin. The main star himself. The head of the franchise. Logan, a.k.a. Wolverine, played by Hugh Jackman. Once again, Hugh Jackman, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no more to say that the man still perfectly embodies Wolverine.
Yeah.
And plus we get to see the opportunity of him playing a much older Wolverine
Yeah.
and a much younger Wolverine.
And he also gets to play the mentor.
Yes, as yeah, he kind of has to whip everyone up to shape to be ready for this important mission,
Yeah.
which shows a great deal of growth in Wolverine.
And apparently he got all of his memories back during the time around the Sentinel future.
Or at least most of them.
Yeah.
Because I think there's still a few things back around the 70s he may not fully remember.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It was great to see him essentially take the role of the leader.
Yep.
Proper.
Yep. And the only reason he did it because Xavier couldn't do it.
Yeah, because after the events of First Class and then everything that happened in between this 10-year period, well, 11-year period, yeah, things.
Of course, also his older self couldn't make the trip since his older self was supposed to make the trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the original idea
Yeah.
for this?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that once again, Kitty couldn't
Yeah.
make the trip like in
Yeah.
the original comics.
Well, the plan was Xavier was going to go, and then Kitty's, who now has the new power, said no because,
Wasn't born yet.
and also she said, and also because she wasn't quite sure how it would rip his brain apart.
Yeah. So might as well actually get the person who can perfectly regenerate
Yeah.
while also getting ripped apart.
Yeah.
But that was actually a good idea.
Yep. Of course, he only gets one good action scene.
Yes, unfortunately. I mean, it's him taking out the gangsters that apparently he was working with?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a hired gun.
Yeah. Yep. And he had his bone claws back.
Yeah, this was before the whole Weapon X situation.
Yeah. Even he seemed surprised when he looked at the bone claws.
Like, huh. Okay.
Yeah.
And has a fantastic scene taking out all those gangsters.
Yep, his only fantastic scene, because basically he gets, whenever he's stressed about seeing someone from his past, he ends up going back to the present.
Or it kind of causes issues where things aren't aligning.
Yep, of course, and so his past self comes back briefly,
Yeah.
out of the loop, wondering what's
What is going on? Who are you people?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yep. Yeah, poor past Wolverine. First he
You get your body taken over by your future self.
wakes up in the middle of a Paris Peace Conference, not knowing where he is, and then wakes up being pulled out of the river.
Yeah. And apparently very soon about to get his bone claws.
Yeah.
I mean, about to get his
Animate-
adamantium claws and
Yeah, speaking of
adamantium skeleton.
Speaking of which, he gets his adamantium claws back in this one because I just assumed Magneto. They never explain how he got it back. He just has them back.
I mean, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
Off screen between the Wolverine and whatever and how long it was Days of Future Past.
yeah.
where they ended up failing.
Which makes me wonder how much time. Well, the future is supposed to be
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
And the Wolverine happened in
2013.
2013. So there was enough time.
Yeah.
There was enough time to find some adamantium,
Yeah.
put him back on his claws before everything goes to crap.
Yeah. So he's basically exposition for Charles.
Yeah.
Basically telling him what.
Well, exposition for everyone.
Yeah, Charles, Eric, Beast, and the lead scene Mystique, because Mystique came back to the mansion and actually had a talk with Xavier. He didn't go telepathically find her. She found him after talking with Eric on there. We actually tell her she becomes a cold-hearted bitch. And that also,
And doom us all.
yeah, of course, that would also make a reason why she saved his past self. Because she knew about him, but in the theatrical underworld cut, she never interacted with any version of himself.
So that may have been. So that deleted scene would have explained why she disguised herself as Stryker.
Yeah,
Huh. Interesting.
yeah, saved young Wolverine.
Hey, at least she was nice this time.
Yeah,
Unlike the first X-Men film,
yeah,
where she tried to get him on, 2 to 3 separate occasions?
yeah. But let's talk about the hero who is mainly his origin story of sorts. McAvoy.
Well, we kind of have to talk about both of them.
Yeah,
Charles Xavier, a.k.a. Professor X, played by James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart.
yeah. Both great.
Yes.
In their own separate, in their own sort of different storylines from the
Yeah.
future.
As we're seeing Patrick Stewart still trying to do his thing, despite the fact, oh Lord, we're in the apocalypse. Most of the people that I've known and worked with and helped are dead.
Including his adopted sister, because they never explain what happened to her, so I assume she did.
Oh no, she died during all the experimentation and testing.
No, she didn't die because
What?
she became Rebecca Romaine.
Oh, she did still
Yeah.
become.
Yeah.
Huh. How did the government not kill her? How did Trask not kill her?
Well, they were still working on the Sentinel program, waiting to the last stand. So, where she got dechanged. If somewhere along the line she gets killed.
Oh, yeah.
Once she gets her powers back.
Yeah, they probably still would have taken her out. Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably would have been the first target.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. So we get Patrick Stewart's Xavier finally mentioned. Oh yeah, Mystique used to be my adopted sister.
Yes.
Which-
We were like family.
Yep. Which makes it still ironic from 2000, where she almost killed him.
Was she trying to get him back?
Yeah.
Was she trying to get him back?
Yeah. And he really wanted to go to the past. I don't know how he would have tried to get himself out of his drug addiction when he
Oh,
got into his
Jesus.
past self.
Yeah, speaking of that, yeah, James McAvoy is playing a much different Xavier.
Yeah.
No longer is he,
The playboy.
yeah, the charismatic playboy. He is absolutely depressed, jaded, and is essentially using the serum that was created by Hank in the previous film to,
Eliminate his stress.
yes, because Unfortunately, it works like a monkey's paw. It gives him the ability to walk, but it blocks off his telepathy,
Yep.
which he's actually happy about because due to all the stress and terrible things that have gone on in the last 11 years, he practically treats his telepathy as if it's like schizophrenia.
Yep. Of course, he has to get convinced out of it by Wolverine.
Yeah, because they need him, for this mission. He is detrimental to this mission.
Yep. Of course, he also finally gets to go talk to his future self, although they do miss a reference of him being bald in the first class.
There was no time for that. Important things were going on. People were dying.
Yeah, but he has enough time to remember Wolverine from first class, of him turning him down.
Well, that was before people were dying. That was when, okay, things are going well.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully things are going okay.
Well, he even mentioned when people were dying, so yeah.
True.
That he had to go see Wolverine's future by accident, so learn what not to do in sand.
Yeah, not get destroyed.
Yeah, of course we get a weird Willy Wonka ride when he tries to use his powers again through Cerebro.
There's no which way we're going. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing?
Yeah, of course Patrick Stewart's Xavier also does a rescue mission after he interacts with his younger self.
Yes.
And gets his younger self on the right track.
Yeah. He needed an additional pep talk on top of the pep talk.
Yeah, of course, that will be referenced in another variant of Xavier.
Very true.
Who wasn't so lucky in that one?
Which still makes me wonder. Well, we'll talk about it more later.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed both of their performances.
Yeah, you could see the differences between each of them and see how one will become the other. Especially midway through after his pep talk from himself.
Which was very important and would be a poignant thing for him going on into becoming what he becomes.
Yeah.
Not just his pep talk, but what Wolverine told him.
Yeah.
Which I like that idea that this time around Wolverine is the one that helps and motivates Xavier, just like how back in the first film Xavier did that for Wolverine.
Yeah. But let's talk about a redeemed villain who also sort of...
Define redeemed.
Well, one version of him who's redeemed.
Yeah. Yep, Eric Lesher, a.k.a. Magneto, played by Michael Fassbender and Ian McKellen.
Well, Magneto's in the Resistance, the older one.
Yes, and has finally, I guess, buried the hatchet with Charles.
Yep.
Yep, they finally have that handshake.
Yep. And they also had that somewhere between Last Stand and the Wolverine where they reunite.
Yeah, because they know bad things are coming. Giant things are coming.
Even though Xavier was probably still ticked off that Magneto didn't even listen to him about Jean.
I told you not to do it, Eric. Well, excuse me, Charles. I was trying to do a thing for all mutant kind.
Yeah.
Well, look how well that went.
Yep. But he's with the older Resistance full of the remaining X-Men, mainly Wolverine, Storm, and Xavier, while trying to look for other X-Men.
Yep.
Who have survived.
Yeah, anyone that could potentially help.
Yep. Of course, he knows all too well about his younger self being stubborn. He knew that it wasn't going to turn out so well, but it was also kind of his fault for insisting Wolverine go let his younger self out
Yeah.
of jail.
I mean, he would help, but also make things very, very
Word.
difficult.
And make it much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, younger Fassbender self is in his first plastic prison.
Well, it wasn't necessarily plastic. It
Well-
was more just like cement and sand.
Yeah.
Pretty much nothing that was metal.
Yeah,
And he's in the basement of the Pentagon.
yeah. That they had to do a breakout.
Yeah. But they need someone important for that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Of course, I did like the plane scene with him and Xavier.
Yes, where oh yeah. Yeah, they went at each other.
Yeah, and Magneto even more so than Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier started it, and Magneto just
He finished it.
yeah.
I mean, he's like, everyone that we knew
Yeah.
ended up getting captured by Trask, experimented on, and killed.
Yep.
And where were you?
Yeah. Of course, Wolverine would say. Of course, Wolverine knows him too well. Doesn't get along with Fassbender as Magneto.
Wow, even in the past you were a big asshole.
Yeah. Yep. Of course, he doesn't know about Wolverine's healing powers, so he basically assumes that he gets rid of them in that final climax.
Yep, after one big
And, yep, instead of the adamantium, he had to find another way to take him down.
Oh yeah, literally put metal into him. Oof.
Yeah.
Good lord.
He also tried to kill Mystique, his former lover, so they could survive.
Former comrade and lover.
For the other Hexagum saved the day.
Yeah.
And then he decided to try to kill all the United States government.
Yeah, tried to essentially take out the whole executive branch.
Yeah, that would have made things so much better for the Sentinel future.
Oh god, who would have become president? Oh god.
Yeah.
Because Nixon would be dead. I think Ford would be dead.
Ford or Agnew. You forget Spiro Agnew was...
Was it during this time that
I
I thought this was Nixon's second term.
I don't know. They don't really are specific with that. But of course,
Because Spiro was his first
yeah,
vice, then it was Ford.
yeah, but no, not. But he was succeed with that one. And of course, older Magneto helped also break someone out
Yes.
of a prison in good old Xavier's mansion.
Which, fantastic scene. We'll get into it.
Yeah. But let's get into the MacGuffin.
Yeah, the Major MacGuffin. Raven, a.k.a. Mystique, played by Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of her, doomed everybody.
Yep.
Back in 1973, as Trask was trying to get the Sentinel Project approved, she assassinates him.
Yeah.
Therefore, making the government be like, yeah, we need to go ahead with this. We still have all of we still have all of his schematics and everything. We'll just use that, start working on these things, and we've captured her, so now we could actually use her abilities to even modify the Sentinels even further than what we already have.
Yeah.
With all the mutants that we did capture and experiment on.
Yeah.
Essentially make them adapt to anything.
Yeah.
So you've essentially turned them into Darwin properly done.
Yeah. Of course, she spends most of the time not listening to what anyone has to say to her about the future.
Nope.
Even in that deleted kitchen scene, she still does the same thing.
Still doesn't want to listen, even though she knows
Yeah,
that it's going to doom everyone.
Yeah,
Not just all mutants, regular people as well.
maybe Magneto did have a point of trying to kill her because he knew she was going to be stubborn and not listen.
Yeah, but at the same time, it made things so much more difficult.
Yeah,
I mean, end up going to the White House and she holding the whole executive branch at gunpoint.
yep. Of course, in the
Then Magneto taking over the early Sentinels.
road cut, she actually interacts with her former lover, Beast.
Yes, which led to a very good and
Very kinky scene.
steamy,
Yeah,
where
they sort of forgave.
we started to see some blue on blue action.
Yeah, and they kind of reconcile after what he said to her 10 years ago.
Yeah, essentially saying that she is beautiful as she is.
Yeah,
But at the same time,
Not
he
very
still
ready for
hasn't.
himself.
Yeah, he hasn't come to terms and come into his own.
yeah. But let's talk about Beast himself, since we mentioned it.
Yeah. Dr. Hank McCoy, aka Beast, played by Nicholas Holt.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's essentially now there to watch over Charles.
yeah,
He is essentially the ride or die.
yeah. That's why Xavier said in Last Stand that you're always welcome.
Which, yeah, he was very important.
Of course, he also has Hulk power.
Which I don't know how to fully feel about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it did kind of happen
Yeah.
in the comics. Kinda.
Well, he had to put on his own mask of his former human self
But, yeah.
for a while. Instead of transforming, he just took off the mask and went the beast mode.
Yeah. But, I mean, the whole idea of him transforming,
Yeah,
sometimes it was due to his emotions.
yeah,
You know, before he stayed permanently blue.
yeah. Of course, him and Wolverine don't get along quite well.
Not necessarily. Not
After
Not
getting punched
initially.
in the face.
Hey. Despite what you think, in the future, you and I will actually be good friends.
Bam.
Yeet.
Yeah. So Beast can eat him.
Poor Wolverine. He just got yeeted so much.
Yeah, that would have helped everyone with Kelsey Grammer's Beast if he wasn't so mellow out by that time.
Yeah, toss this salad.
Yep. Of course, he's all in once he finds out that it's the X that he needs to save.
Yep.
That he still has a torch. He's still carrying a torch for.
Which, yeah, it's a very complicated thing with Mystique because her issues, but still does care about Charles.
Yeah.
Her issues, but does still care about Eric. And then issues, but does still care about Hank.
Yep.
Oh, God. Is this like a weird love square?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
Or a love parallelogram?
Yeah. Of course, he also finds out that he didn't make it in the future
Yeah.
because he was killed by the friend of the friend of humanity. Yeah, they basically kill him in the Times Square from one of the websites. They talk about, yeah, that's what happened to Kelsey Grammer's Beast. On screen.
They had him assassinated.
Yeah,
Dang. That's messed up.
Yeah.
And the government what was involved in that?
I'm not quite sure about that.
Oh,
But right in front of a crowd.
he got
Hung.
assassinated.
Well, hung, yeah.
Oh no.
Hung or staked. Whatever.
Oh, they did him in like a witch?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. They crucibled him.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That is beyond messed up.
That is why he had to change with Wolverine. Which also in the Rogue happens earlier instead of the climax for a joke.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the future X-Men.
Do we start with who sends them in the past, or just like
Senior.
level of importance in the cast?
Level of importance in the cast.
Okay, well, Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, played by Halle Berry.
She was good for what she had. The
Yeah,
problem was Halle Berry was pregnant also.
yeah. So she wasn't able to do as much as I think they wanted her to do.
Yeah.
But it was still cool to still see her there.
Although she got kind of demoted from being a main character from the last into
Yeah, she's not the leader anymore
Yeah.
because Charles took over.
after he came back from the dead.
Yeah, just took over his twin brother's brain dead body.
Yeah.
And I
And
guess
now she's just guard for Sentinels. Guard against Sentinels.
just a part of lookout with everyone else.
Yeah, where she also has a terrible end.
Yeah.
Of course, her best scene was the debate scene, which is in the Rogue cut only, not the theatrical cut,
Yeah.
where she actually has to tell the other mutants that they should just sacrifice
Yeah, that
their lives in this timeline.
Yeah.
So a new one can help spring out. And
essentially she's on Xavier and Magneto's side.
Yeah, and
That-
yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, we're going to have to do this. This may end up resulting in some of you all
not existing.
in the future, but this is to make sure that not all mutants and humans die.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're going to have to make the big sacrifice to ensure a better future and survival for all people,
Yeah.
powered or not.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, Sentinels aren't just rounding up and killing off the mutants a la a Holocaust. They're also taking out humans that could potentially hold the X gene for their offspring.
Yeah. Of course, because it's the Rogue cut, let's talk about Rogue.
Yes. Rogue, played by Anna Paquin.
Yeah. In the original theatrical cut, she's only there for the good future.
Yeah. After everything was, after the major important moments were stopped, we're not going to tell you how. Watch the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's only there in the good timeline.
Yep.
But-
and she gets the opening, and she still gets the end credit, which makes no sense. I know because they were
Was it in her contract?
maybe I don't. Yeah. But in the Rogue cut makes much more sense because Professor X, Magneto, and Iceman do a rescue mission.
Yes. As they find out that she's essentially being held at the X Mansion, essentially being experimented and tortured on by scientists.
Yeah. And then, in helping her escape, they end up losing one of their own.
Yeah. God, God, Bobby got a rough break. He got a rough go this whole film.
Yeah.
I don't know which is worse, that one or which one was it where the Sentinels essentially broke him in ice form and then stepped on his head. Was it the beginning of the film?
Yeah, that was the beginning.
I don't know which one was worse. Him getting melted or him getting essentially ice statued, broken ice statued and then boom on his head.
Yep. Of course, Anna Paquin did nice for what she had.
Yeah, and
She had a good pivotal moment when she actually takes Kitty's place.
yeah.
And saying, "I'm sorry, Kitty," and then she also says hi to Wolverine when she takes Kitty's powers.
And I like that moment because just like how Wolverine was pivotal in helping her when they first met, here she is helping him during a very pivotal moment.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And yeah, it does actually give her an important presence.
Yep. Of course, let's talk about the other love triangle. Well, let's talk about Kitty.
The sacrifice or the one that's initially having the plan go.
Yeah. The one who initially did the plan.
Okay. Kitty Pryde, played by Elliot Page. Once again, as we are acknowledging the transition of Elliot Page, when we refer to Elliot Page, we will refer to Elliot as he, while the character of Kitty we will refer to as she.
Well, Kitty Pryde did very well.
Yes.
Kitty Pryde.
Even though it is a bit weird that she's able to manipulate her
And they never explain why.
abilities to essentially do what Rachel Summers does in the original comics.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit confused on how that works.
Yeah.
How in the world is she able to manipulate her ability to phase through solid matter into essentially using it to manipulate people's minds and kind of reset things through their memory?
Yeah. Never explain, and we never will know.
Did they even explain it to Elliot?
No. They just said that you have new powers now.
Yeah. You can also manipulate minds like Rachel Summers, but unfortunately, we killed Cyclops and Jean Grey before they could have a child. So, and apparently, we didn't think of having Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
Even though Fox also had the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So, Kitty has to have the powers.
Yeah, and you feel sorry for Kitty when she finds out about her dead boyfriend.
Yeah, and she can't really have too much of a time to mourn.
Yeah.
Because bleeding out and also trying to keep Wolverine in the past.
Yeah. After Wolverine stabbed her, after his freak out.
Yeah. Well, can you blame him?
Yeah.
I mean, once you run into the guy that ends up causing you so much pain and suffering, yeah, you would get jolted out of what you're doing.
Yeah. Of course, let's talk about Iceman himself, Shawn Ashmore.
Yep. It once again very nice to see Shawn.
Yeah. He actually grows a beard in this one.
And also I like with everyone in the future, they got new upgraded suits, much more tactical suits. And everybody has their own nice little flair with it. I like the fact that he has kind of like the open jacket type of look for his for his tactical suit.
Yep, and he's the one who tells Xavier and Magneto where Rogue's being operated on in Xavier's own mansion for them to go do the
'Cause
rescue.
I think at one point he tried to
Yeah.
save her,
Yeah,
but
it
it didn't work out.
Yeah. So luckily he had someone who knew the mansion inside and out to help this time. But fortunately he had to do the sacrifice.
Yeah.
In this early cut. In the theatrical cut, he actually lasts till the climax.
Yeah, while everybody's getting slaughtered.
He does. He becomes the last person slaughtered. So
Well, everybody's getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But yeah, he was the last one taken out before most important people are taken out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know which is worse. I don't know which is worse as far as the deaths.
Yep.
Plus, I have this really weird feeling that Singer, Kinberg, Vaughn, all of them, they wanted to see how much they could get away with killing all the X-Men over and over and over again
Yeah.
because they knew everything would be fine by the end.
Yep.
For some reason, they wanted to give us, play the clip.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. Bit while since we played that clip.
Oh God, we're gonna need that clip again.
Yeah. 2 movies from now.
Yeah. But hey, Shawn Ashmore did great.
Uh,
You really felt the emotion. Oh, it broke my heart to see him die.
Of course, we should talk about the guy who helped with Magneto's rescue. Helped rescue Magneto from his.
If I could have time in a bottle. Oh my God. Peter Maximoff, aka Quicksilver, played by Evan Peters. This man currently is still the best speedster in all iterations of speedsters, whether it be movies or television. The only one that can get close to or even slightly surpass him is Grant Gustin.
Yeah.
But Evan Peters was so fantastic.
Of course, they had to do him dirty in WandaVision.
Yeah, which I hope they rectify.
Yeah.
You know, after the big reset when Secret Wars ends,
Yeah.
they better do right by him.
Yeah. Yeah. No trolling this time. Kevin Feige on.
Freaking Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
But this is him proper.
Yeah.
You know, him being that exuberant teenage kid that he has no problems with having his powers out in the open, do whatever he wants.
Yeah. He hardly gets caught at all. Even though the cops have come to his house plenty of times.
Yeah. Which I would think the government would have looked in on him, but hey,
Yeah.
kid's
And
pretty
He
good.
starts to get put 2 and 2 together that Magneto's his father.
Yeah.
After that ironic joke. Hey, my mom knew someone.
Who could manipulate metal?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then,
That's my dad.
well, I think he didn't realize that was his dad till he did his whole government spiel on television.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. While holding his youngest sister,
Hilarious.
and he's like, "Oh no, that's my dad."
Of course.
And oh no, people might be dying.
The only disappointment is we never get to see older version of him that Wolverine knows.
I know.
Because Wolverine knows older him. So, somewhere along the line,
He ran into Peter,
yeah.
knew what he could do,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's alive during this time. He's much younger,
Yeah.
but he could come in handy."
Yeah.
And he does, because we get quite possibly the best scene of the whole movie.
Which they decided to try to repeat again in Apocalypse.
Which, it was good, but not as good as this one.
Yeah.
Where he essentially, Speedster mode goes on, he he puts on that headset, and while listening to John Croak,
Yeah.
he runs around the whole area,
Yeah.
finding unique and hilarious ways to take out all the guards that are shooting at Charles, Eric, and Logan.
Yeah.
Make sure that the bullets miss them, and voila! Everyone that was in their way is out. Everyone did not get shot.
Yep.
Hooray! And he got a hat.
Yeah. Although he would have been nice for Paris before the whole Magneto stuff.
Yes,
I know they just need him for at the time.
for the breakout.
Yeah, they didn't realize how popular he would have been at that time.
Yeah, but he proved to be so good that the MCU wasn't able to keep their Pietro.
Yeah.
I think that was also the deal.
Yeah.
That
Because MCU and Fox at the time shared both characters.
yeah, and Fox had more plans for them, so they were like, "We need Pietro. You can keep using Wanda, but your Pietro, he's gonna have to make the sacrifice."
Of course, let's talk about the human villains.
Well, start with the man that causes the future destruction, Dr. Bolivar Trask, played by Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. He is awesome as villainous.
Yes, I don't think there have been too many times Dinklage has played a villain.
No.
But he did a fantastic job,
Yeah.
playing Trask. Yes, it is people do bring up, wait, but Trask was Black Guy in
Yeah.
Last Stand. I think it's pretty much kind of believed that the Trask in Last Stand is Bolivar's son.
Yeah. Yeah, but he doesn't do it because he hates the mutants. He does it because he wants to save humanity.
Yeah, it's not so much prejudice.
Yeah.
It's the whole idea of understanding Charles Darwin and, the whole idea of Darwinism, that as evolution keeps going, usually the next step kind of causes the previous step to go extinct.
Of course, in the original timeline, Mystique kills him, but when Eric stops it, it makes things much more worse since Trask is still alive.
Yeah, and he also finds out about Mystique's abilities, and now he's even more gung-ho on trying to get the Sentinel Project working.
Yep, and he even presents him with the classic form in the 70s.
Yes.
Of course, in the end, he gets what's coming to him in the road cut.
Yeah, he doesn't die, but he ends up paying for his crimes.
Yeah. After Nixon turns on him.
Of course.
Of course, he also had a...
Why must so many people become scapegoats?
Yeah. Of course, he also had a lantern himself. Good old Stryker is back again.
Yep. But he's actually Major Bill Stryker,
Yeah.
played by Josh Hellman.
And not Danny Houston in this.
Yeah.
Or he's more likely going to be the Brian Cox version in the
Yeah.
future. Yep.
Yeah, he's, as they actually showed Cox as archival footage,
Yep.
and played his,
Yep.
the final thing that he said to Wolverine.
Yep. Of course, he also captured lots of mutants during the Vietnam War to go use experiments against Trask.
Well, for Trask.
Yeah. And ends up running into Mystique.
Yeah, where he gets his ass handed to him.
The beginning
How many
of
times did Stryker just get owned?
3 times in this movie.
They were doing this for us after everything we went through next too, huh?
Yeah.
And also Origins,
Yep.
even though Origins is no longer canon.
Although you could also say because of this, we still get X2.
Well, yeah, we still get X2, but Essentially, they did this for us.
Yep.
For the fans that were so upset over what happened.
Yep. Even Mystique even pretends to be him, even though the original ending it was him who got young Wolverine.
Huh.
But they're like, it's too dark of an ending, so let's make it Mystique as Stryker. So then we just added the yellow eyes.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Which makes Apocalypse even much more.
So then when did Stryker get Wolverine, do the Weapon X program, and then actually make him Weapon X?
I guess somewhere in the 80s. But
timelines.
Yeah. But he did good. The actor, Josh Hillman.
Yeah, he really did.
Even though he was supposed to be young Juggernaut. Which didn't work out well because they decided not to do Juggernaut.
Yeah. But I think he was the right pick to be Stryker.
Yeah. And it was good reference to the Jason moment. Once Trask mentions, you have a son, right? Jason? Yeah. 10 years old.
His powers haven't kicked in yet, and he doesn't end up becoming evil just like me and his grandpa.
I always thought that there was that he knew about his powers at 10. That William Stryker knew about his son's powers.
Oh, he hadn't just gone. Yeah. He hadn't gone full evil yet.
Yeah.
God, how much of a hypocrite is William Stryker?
Yeah, a big hypocrite.
But at the same time, he did do terrible things to his own son.
Yeah.
Practically lobotomized him and turned him into a weapon.
Yeah. But let's talk about the good.
The plot, fantastic.
Yeah, it's basically Days of Future Past, the comic.
Yeah, it's somewhat fateful.
Yeah.
You know, they still have someone getting sent to the past to stop the assassination of a major figure.
And it's still Mystique doing it.
Well, in the original comic, she orchestrated it, but she wasn't the one that pulled the trigger.
In the animated series, she did. She just doesn't.
Well, yeah,
X-Men.
The animated series, she pulled the trigger. Yeah. But in the comics, it was another Brotherhood member.
Yep. Of course, the acting.
Yes. I mean,
McAvoy's in his heartbreak.
Yes, and, you know, everything that... I felt so bad for him when, you know, the voices started coming back.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, you need those, but oh no, it's breaking him.
Yep.
It's breaking him.
Yep. Of course, Hugh Jackman, as usual.
Yes. I mean, still perfectly encapsulating everything that is Wolverine.
Yep.
Michael Fassbender, perfect as playing, you know, playing Magneto, truly starting to become what he becomes.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, when she still cared.
Yep.
And God, you felt all the pain she was dealing with.
Yeah.
Especially when she saw the pictures of everybody that she knew from First Class that got experimented and essentially killed via dissection.
Yeah. Of course, Elliot Page.
Which, yeah, Elliot did fantastic.
Yeah. And of course, Stewart and McKellen.
I mean, that goes beyond stating. They were fantastic. And plus, Ian McKellen got to do some action.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fantastic to see him, you know, being the master of magnetism.
Yeah.
And doing his best to stop the Sentinels.
Mm-hmm. Of course, let's talk about the minor roles.
Yes, our special minor role characters include Omar Sy as Bishop.
Yeah.
Very nice to see Bishop again. Yeah. I like that they gave him his red shawl for his
travels suit. Back in time.
Yeah, he's the one that
briefly.
He's the one that can initially handle it.
Yeah.
So they're able to kind of reset things by a few days.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, he does come in handy.
And he's the one who starts the debate about sending Wolverine back to the past to change things.
Yeah, because he's like, well, hold on there. If the course of events change then, what does that mean for someone like me?
Yep.
I may not exist.
Yep. Of course, Colossus is back.
Yes, and they did bring back Daniel Cudmore.
And he only has one line. Mystique once Xavier starts telling the story about Mystique killing Trask.
Yeah. And God, he got the worst deaths.
Yep.
I mean, the first time he gets his skull caved in via a punch from a sentinel. The second time he gets pulled apart.
Yep.
He gets drawn and quartered by sentinels.
Yep. Of course, the other New Mutants is Blink.
All played by Fan Bingbang.
Yep. She doesn't do much except get portals to help the other mutants fight.
But those
the Sentinels
portals
in.
did come in clutch a few times.
You know, she still gets killed both times.
Yeah, but hey, she did do good for those scenes.
Yep.
We also got Adin Canto as Sunspot.
Rest in peace. He recently passed away from cancer this year.
You did a good job, man.
Yeah.
We miss you.
Yep. He also was on the debate part of it.
Yeah, because could not exist.
Of course, he gets killed by Ice Sentinel plenty of times.
Yeah, getting straight up frozen.
Yeah.
Or the other time, essentially was he the one that got his face melted? Or
No, that was the next one.
Boo Boo Stewart as Warpath.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, who did have the worst death?
Yeah. Yeah. His job was to mainly he could sense sentinels coming.
Yeah. He was the main lookout.
Yeah. And he had a tribute thing in the World Cup full of lost mutants.
Yeah.
Of course, he died. He's as old.
Got his face melted.
Yeah. Of course, the action was great.
Yes. I mean, all the future Sentinel fights, even though we knew how it was going to end,
Yeah.
they were still fantastic, and we got to see so many characters utilize their abilities.
Yeah. Wolverine fighting the mob.
Fighting the gangsters in
Yeah.
the past. Fantastic.
Magneto versus Beast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The major tussle in Paris.
Yeah.
When Beast is like, you're not going to be killing Raven today. I am going to drown you.
Yeah. Instead, he becomes like an animal in a zoo.
Yep. And now the whole world knows about mutants.
Yeah. Of course, the Quicksilver saving everyone.
If I could have time in a bottle.
Of course, the final climax, which we already mentioned.
Yes.
And then the cameos.
Yes. Yeah, we had quite a few really good cameos. We had Marvel writer Len Wein as a U.S. congressman and writer and most important contributor to X-Men ever, Chris Claremont as a U.S. congressman.
Yep. They were both great on that one.
Yeah. I mean, we got good Lord, a good chunk of the characters Len Wein helped introduce were in this film.
Yeah.
And most of the characters the whole story that Chris Claremont wrote.
Yeah. Of course, Lucas Hill as Havoc.
Which was very nice to see him back.
The problem was he's a cameo.
Yeah.
And he never gets to meet with Wolverine. We could have had like a good Summers joke on that one.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. Missed opportunity there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, we had the new Toad.
Yeah, Evan Jonikit
Yeah.
as this new version of Toad. He's more based off of the more modern version of Toad,
Yeah.
where he kind of looks more frog or toad-like, and he's wearing like goggles.
And they have him working at a fast food restaurant.
Which I don't know if that's sanitary.
It isn't.
Oh, God. Well, it was the 70s.
Yeah.
We had Greg Lowe as Ink.
Yep.
We got Mark Camacho did fantastic as Richard Nixon.
Yep, in the uncut version of the roll cut, he actually says the second F-bomb.
Heck yeah. Which I would believe Nixon would.
Yep.
But Mark Camacho looked like him, sounded like him. He did a good job.
Yep.
We got Zara Leverman as Miss Maximoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magneto's baby mama.
Yep. Of course, then we have returning X-Men.
Yes, once everyone is saved, and we get the good timeline where everybody that we know and love didn't die. One of our absolute favorites.
Yep.
Dr. Hank McCoy, a.k.a. Beast, played by Kelsey Grammer.
And he actually had the makeup.
Yes, they actually gave him the proper practical makeup.
And that was during reshoots when they decided to bring him back because he was done Transformers, and he found out from like Patrick Stewart or whatever they were working on Days of Future Past.
And
he was bummed that he wasn't doing it.
But they found a way to at least bring him in, which was very nice.
Yep.
And it makes us sure that he's alive and well.
Yep.
And
after being killed from the mob and the off screen, he's back alive.
And he real good pals with Logan.
Yeah.
And also the ones that really, really hit us here.
Yeah.
Famke Janssen as Jean Grey.
Yeah.
And James Marsden as Scott Summers, a.k.a. Cyclops.
Yep.
They both alive and well, happy.
After Wolverine said goodbye to Jean in his near-death experience.
Yeah, and then also having to deal with all the emotional heartbreak in the Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good to see James Marsden with a new pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
And being confused of why Wolverine's happy to see him. He's like, we don't get along, right? We still don't get along, right?
Just take the win.
Yeah.
Take the win. But it was good to see him. And I feel like that was them apologizing.
For last thing.
Yeah. That was yeah. I really hope he shows up in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Same thing with Famke and same thing with Kelsey.
Yes.
And Patrick.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes. I want tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Yep.
But no film is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Havoc being a cameo.
Yeah, it should have been Henry Gyrick.
Yes, Gyrick should have been an advocate for Trask.
Yep.
Whether it was someone helping him with the program or being a part of Congress that was like, go with his idea.
Yeah. Of course, the dead characters off screen, like Azazel and Angel.
Yeah. And Emma Frost. How are you going to do Emma Frost like that?
Yep. Of course, that didn't. Of course, because now that they're owned by the Marvel MCU, of course, Azazel's coming back for Deadpool and Wolverine, played by the same actor. So, even if he does die, it'll at least be a proper death this time.
Yeah, I guess.
And not off screen.
I guess.
Yeah.
Also, make him Nightcrawler's dad again.
Yep. It would be funny if they had just had Nightcrawler kill his own dad. That would be kind of funny.
Oh, God. Well, hey, they've had fights.
Yeah.
I mean, Azazel's truly evil.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
There are a few whats, like...
How did Xavier and Magneto get out of their predicament in the original timeline? Although Magneto, I just assumed it was Mystique, and that's how they reconciled.
Yeah.
On that one.
While, how did Xavier get over his addiction to the serum?
Yep.
And also, what timeline is the good timeline?
Hopefully they explain Deadpool and Wolverine.
Because currently, as of right now, there are 4 timelines.
Maybe
there,
5.
Okay, 5 timelines. There is the original trilogy. There is First Class. There is the Good Timeline. There is Logan. And then there is wherever Deadpool is.
Yep.
Explain! Where are we currently in?
Yep. But when I go over the scores,
Yes.
all right, I give this a 10 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
Despite my nitpicks, I still think it's a fantastic movie. I prefer watching the road cut over the theatrical cut because there's more to do there's more for the original cast to do in the plot line compared to what they are in the actual theatrical version. And the same thing with the Mystique and Beast storyline have a little bit more to do in the road cut compared to the theatrical version.
Well, yes. I agree. 10 out of 10. It is the best X-Men movie, and this should have been where the X-Men franchise ended.
Yeah, I do agree.
I mean, everything was done fantastic. Plus, also, additional note, Patrick Stewart got his hover chair.
Yeah.
He got the hover chair both in a post-apocalyptic future and proper future.
Yep.
I mean, and yes, I also agree, watch the road cut. It's so much better and much more poignant.
Yeah. Get the Blu-ray or get it from Amazon Prime.
Yes.
But if you tell us your opinion, go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Where else?
You can also find us on Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok.
And make sure to like, comment, share our videos, and subscribe to this channel.
Yes, as we're almost halfway there to our first goal of 500 subscribers. We're just 1 subscriber away, and then we're halfway there. Once we reach 500, we can update our presentation. We can start a Patreon. We'll have exclusive videos just for patrons. Any donations or subscriptions that we get through Patreon, we will put into our channel. And also, we'll also give people the opportunity to do some viewer request reviews.
But before we go, we decided to go to talk about another character, Deadpool.
Ah, yes. Where things got fun again.
Yep. So, want to roll us out?
Well, sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and click the post notification bell so you're updated with all of our upcoming videos. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.